This chapter, number 6, evolves. It has been quite the journey as number 6 has continued to let his anger, his rage, his hate, his frustration, all directed towards Koichi, continue to allow him to grow, evolve, and ascend to heights that honestly no one would have ever considered. And it all comes from the fact that number 6 thinks he's a hero. He's the hero of his own story. And he sees Koichi as a villain, the ultimate villain who stands in his way. And it is this explosive display of power. Number 6 erupts into this fiery figure in the sky and then becomes this living embodiment of energy. The only thing that has actual what appears to be physical form is his bones. Everything else is this illuminescent phosphorus that just lights the rest of him up. It is the most intense look I've ever seen in My Hero Academia. It's very reminiscent of Blight from Batman Beyond. I guess you could say Ghost Rider, but it's not just his skull, it's his entire being that has turned illuminescent. It's like as if Ghost Rider was combined with the Human Torch or something like that. And then without missing a beat, this evolved number 6 goes right in on Koichi, delivering intense strikes and explosive attacks that Koichi can barely defend against. And of course, All for One is looking on with jubilation, as his little experiment has far exceeded any kind of parameter he would have thought. And we come to find out this evolution of power, it came from the cells of the bomb villain. It's the next stage of the bomb villain's quirk, a body of combusting plasma, quick and precise. And it's dubbed by whoever as number 6, lightning style. And All for One is tickled pink by all of this. He's not worried or anything. He just finds it just so interesting, the direction that he's gone in. And we ultimately do kind of get a bit of a full-on showing that the mental image of O'Clock that number 6 has had in his mind, it was All for One the entire time. It was just him appearing as O'Clock this entire time, influencing number 6's thoughts, which I guess really does make a lot of sense. If that's the thing that'll help him better control number 6 throughout all of this, become the very being that would help guide number 6 towards what All for One wanted, it makes a lot of sense. But man, number 6 has just become so intense. With 2 fingers pointed outward, he's able to shoot off these energy bullets that explode with this intensity that Koichi can hardly even defend against. All he can really do is try to run, but no matter where he goes, the bullets home in on him. So he can barely defend, he can hardly shoot most of them down. Koichi is in a really tight spot. Meanwhile, Koichi and Popstep's friends in the band that they had put together have gone racing out, chasing after Mia, one of the twins, who had noticed that Popstep, she started acting a bit weird when things with Koichi kind of didn't quite go the way she wanted. And so she kind of attributes that to whatever happened with Popstep. And so she thinks that if something were to happen to Koichi while he's just out there on the run, Popstep could take an even worse direction as a whole. And as her sisters and the group as a whole try to chase her down because it's like, it's dangerous out here. No one knows what's happening. Nobody knows what's going on. She's honestly could get herself killed. And this is highlighted by the fact that the entire sky is lit up by multiple little explosions. Is this going to be the end of Koichi finally? Or will his quirk evolve yet again? That's been the real funny part about all of this. Both number 6 and Koichi keep evolving, growing, developing, and adapting in a wide variety of unforeseen ways. And honestly, with everything that we've seen up until now, it would make a world of sense if Koichi just adapted yet again, grew to the next level, found a new ability that would help him survive all these explosions. Not defeat number 6, but just continue to survive until someone hopefully comes in and helps him out. I've been preaching that for multiple chapters now, that Koichi needs help. He needs someone else to step in, because I just don't see him being the one to take down number 6. But at the rate that number 6 has been going, it might not even be necessary. I'm starting to believe that with all of the energy that number 6 keeps exerting, eventually he's just going to fizzle himself out. He's just going to burn himself away. Like, honestly speaking, that would make a lot of sense, because he can't be a stable entity. His mind is too erratic, his feelings are too irrational, everything points to his very own nature, his body just withering away, fading into nothing, because he's become a living mass of energy. How does he come back from that? It raises far too many questions. And honestly speaking, with most of the heroes out there never having really encountered a Nomu, as it were, it would make sense that there was no evidence for most of the heroes that we know from the main series to have really solidly tangled with number 6. Because they wouldn't even know what he was past a certain point, let alone the involvement of All For One. All For One's tracks are covered in this. That stands to reason, because before, during the time when O'Clock was still operating, that was before All For One's final quote-unquote fight with All Might, before All Might thought he was gone for good. But the visage of All For One that we see in this chapter, he has the tubes, the messed up face, the breathing apparatus. He is definitely already post the jacking up that All Might gave him. So going forward, it's definitely a little bit of time before we hit to the main timeline. And with nobody having seemingly known or noticed any similarities with the Nomu, I feel like this just ends up being a contained incident. But if Koichi had died, I couldn't see this being just brushed to the side. Someone would have had to have known. But with Koichi living, people just chalk it up to a villain who just couldn't handle his own power. And that was the end of the story. Koichi's still in the dark. Pop Step, honestly, no matter what number 6 seems to think of her being a loose end, she doesn't know anything. Not really. And I doubt All For One would be letting number 6 do the things that he's doing if he thought there was a risk of him being outed. He covers his tracks far too well for anything like that. But tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about this next stage in evolution for number 6? Do you think it's too much? And do you think Koichi will be able to rise to the occasion yet again, like he's done so many other times? I look forward to hearing from you, but until then, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications. And until next time, I will see you later. Bye-bye.